especially women, because women are the fount of life. Here it is.
Courageous women across Iran are opposing an oppressive Islamic theocracy by removing their hijabs in public. And where's the pussy hat crowd? Where are the Western feminists? Oh, that's right, they just spent the last year fetishizing and normalizing the hijab. They spent the last year applauding global corporations for adorning athletes and Barbie dolls with it. They embraced the hijab to such a degree, they literally made it the symbol of their resistance movement. How can you claim to represent women's rights when you're genuflecting to a symbol of oppression for women across an entire continent? The first thing women in Syria do when they're liberated from ISIS control is to remove their hijabs with glee. The very first Arab feminist groups 100 years ago discarded their hijabs in protest. Now Iranian women in 2018 are doing the same thing, beaten for it in the streets. And how does the left respond? With complete silence or even tacit support for the Islamic regime. How many times has the official Pussy Hat Women's March even tweeted about Iran? Oh look, it's zero! Another case in point, the relentless cancer that is BuzzFeed.
People are using an old image of a woman without a headscarf to illustrate the Iran protests.
Old? Really? So how old is it, BuzzFeed? 6 months? 2 years? 5 years? Oh, it's literally from last week, as you admit in your own article. It's from December 27th, just a week before you published the article. So you accuse me of misleading people when you're the ones misleading people by claiming an image is old when it isn't even old. You're the ones literally spreading fake news to side with an oppressive Islamic theocracy against women's rights. Oh no, people using a 4-day-old image of a woman spurning the forced modesty culture of a misogynistic death cult that we peddle to our virtue-signaling white guilt-ridden readership as empowering, and it's totally up our victim narrative. BuzzFeed claims that images of women removing their hijabs to protest against government laws which force them to wear hijabs have nothing to do with the anti-government protests. In fact, it's got so little to do with the anti-government protests that it literally became an iconic symbol of the anti-government protests. Who wrote this BuzzFeed piece? Rose Troop Buchanan? Yeah, let's check that white privilege, Rose, and listen to what actual Iranians have to say about this. I'm from Iran, and every day many women are arrested because they didn't cover their hair properly. If a woman doesn't wear a scarf at all, she will be lashed. The people of Iran have made this image a symbol of their resistance, but to many leftists, everything is about American politics and their opposition to the right. The world is bigger than the US, BuzzFeed. You have taken the side of the theocrats against the oppressed. Yeah, a little more listening to people who are actually from the country, BuzzFeed, and a little less white-splaining, please. A little less throwing actual feminists under the bus with your fake news. And didn't you just know Miss Sharia law is reasonable Linda Sarsour would have to insert herself into this? Why does the right wing suddenly care about women in the Middle East? They didn't care about the Rohingya Muslims. Yeah, except they did. And Sarsour herself only tweeted about it when it became a global news story. Hey Linda, I was calling for women to liberate themselves of their burqas 4 years ago. And what were you doing? Joking about how FGM victims like Ayan Hirsi Ali should have their vaginas removed. And you've got the nerve to call yourself a women's rights advocate.
She's a fake feminist. Ms. Sarsour is not interested in universal human rights. She's a defender of Sharia law.
Noticeable that male far-right bloggers, commentators in the US and Europe are going viral by deciding who is and who isn't a true feminist in relation to the West's response to Iran's protests.
Yeah, noticeable how many far-left bloggers, commentators in the US and Europe are fetishizing the hijab, a symbol of patriarchal oppression, while actual victims of patriarchal oppression in Iran liberate themselves of it. Hey lefties, feminism isn't about virtue signaling on Twitter about how much you respect women while you sexually abuse them behind the scenes. It's about literally risking incarceration and torture to stand up for actual women's rights. Drink it in, because this is what a real feminist looks like. This is what a real feminist movement looks like. It's not about your corporate feminist hijabi-friendly Islamophilia. It's about risking it all to be a beacon of true freedom and true liberation for women around the world.
You know, Donald Trump over the weekend said something that really started to sink in for me right before we went live, because it's so true. The truth is powerful, and Trump operates unlike any statesman I've seen in modern history in the truth. And that's what's so refreshing about it. But he said, you know, the mainstream media really needs me to win in 2020. You guys had almost no ratings and it completely imploded until I came along, and you're still a shadow of your former selves because you're fake news. But he said, you need me. And look at the economy. Look at all of it. It's all roaring back, and optimism and so many other good things. And Trump is delivering on what he said. Very sensible policies across the board. And they are just flipping out, completely inverting all of this. And now Michael Wolff, known for yellow journalism, I mean, he's famous for festooning his news reports with outright fabrications. Like you hang ornaments on a Christmas tree. He's now come out and said he has no way to know if any of it's true. And he's gone to say, quote, I'll do whatever is necessary to get the story. Wolf in journalist clothing. By the way, this guy looks so disingenuous. I saw a photo of him last night smiling, and it reminded me of a piece I've been wanting to do for months. Guys, go to Google Images and get Brian Stelter smiling. It is the most disingenuous, wolf-like demon face I've ever seen. And then you look at Wolf, it looks like Wolf is Brian Stelter's real daddy. I'll come find it during the break because there's no way for you guys to know which ones I want. It's Brian Stelter. There it is. Oh, my God. I mean, that is a horror movie cover. Seriously, he is scarier looking than It the Clown. I mean, would you let your children anywhere near that psychopath? I mean, that is a psychopath right there. I mean, look at him. God. Oh, I mean, it cries out. Danger, danger, alert, alert. I am a scumbag. I am filth. I am your enemy. And then you look at the photos of Wolf smiling, and it's the only person I've ever seen that looks that creepy, man. It's a still image photo of him smiling the same way with that power trip look in his eyes. It's in Google Images. Just type in Michael Wolff journalist. That's his cover. And you'll see the Brian Stelter look. I believe he is related to Stelter. He's got to be. I mean, folks, I would literally not be able to finish my dinner if somebody walked over and talked to me that looked like these two guys. And I'm sorry. They're not just lying anti-American scumbags that want to run us all on the ground because they're little men. They're pieces of crap. They think they're better than everybody. That's what it's about. It's the spirit of evil, and we must break them. Oh. Anytime I need energy now, I'm hanging Wolf and Stelter and Hillary. She's the other person that's got the same demon look. I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm a ravenous piece of garbage. And I'm going to hang all three of them on my office wall. In fact, I'm putting their faces up all over the office because I want people to know who the enemy is. Unbelievable. You guys still haven't found the one. It's a body shot of Wolf, and he's looking down with that disingenuous predator look of I'm not even hiding the fact that I hate everybody and that I'm a piece of crap and that I want to abuse you and I want to lie to you and I want to hurt you. But then there's a disingenuousness where he thinks you don't know. And it's like a joke that we're not in on. And no, that's not it. It's a body shot. It's him kind of looking down, and he's got that same smile as Stelter. And these are photos that they themselves put out as publicity photos. I've tried to do joke photos like this to look disingenuous, and I can make any face I want to. I can't pull it off because the eyes, Chico. It's always in the eyes. And again, I am always following my gut from now on with people. And how, just like Trump said, and they got big studies out, you can tell if somebody's lying, you can tell if somebody's been sick even a few hours, even though the virus or bacteria hasn't really replicated. Your brain is such a supercomputer that your first shallow approximation is not shallow, it's the deepest thing, to paraphrase the president. But just look at Stelter again, put him on screen. I think this all the broadcast should be is just a photo of Stelter smiling. Oh, Oh, my gosh. Oh, hell on earth. He wants to run your life. He wants to control every aspect of your life because he knows he is a cowardly, degenerate sack of anti-human trash. I pledge before my Heavenly Father that I will resist them every way I can. These people are the literal demon spawn of the pit of hell. Look at him. And you know what? He is better than you if you keep letting him run your life. He runs your kids. He runs the schools. He runs the banks. This guy, this spirit, this smiling, leering devil that thinks you can't see what he is your enemy. Period. All the narcissistic, devil-worshipping filth. I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. 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 You are my enemy. And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got. Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler, a betrayer, a backstabber, a devil. You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you, Stelter? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? Stelter. You will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you. Get him off the screen. Oh, God, they're so evil. Just please, God, free us from them. They're drunk on our children's blood, for God's sake. Okay, I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to find the photo of Wolf. The author of the... I'm just giving you a little bit of how they feel about you, see? But not the same spirit. From a spirit of will and strength against evil and recognizing evil and letting it know that you understand what it's up to and that you see it. You understand? Because they don't want to be identified, but they want to hang it out right there in front of you and not be identified, like the Joker. I see it. I know what your real face is. Oh, they just absolutely love to hurt innocents. They just rub their hands together to break down civilization, to destroy families, to defile everything they can, and to deceive and to mislead, to build their own universe of fraud. This is the compendium of their abomination, desolation. Let me continue here for a second. The author of the explosive new Trump book says he can't be sure parts of it are true and just does whatever it takes to get in the news. Oh, there you go. So he just runs around. And, you know, when I knew he was such a charlatan, according to his own words, basically, Mr. Wolfie, that Mr. Wolf in journalist clothing, as they're saying, but I said, oh, Bannon certainly is going to say he's been misquoted and this was hyperbole or he was juxtapositioning or he was devil's advocating. Because, you know, I war game things here on air and the media takes it out of context, even though 20 seconds before I said, I don't really believe this, but this is how they basically see it. And that's how they deceive. It's what they do. They're of their father, the devil, a spirit they worship. But they don't want you to know that it's all real and that they are literal on their belly snakes. Now, I see the snakes in the grass. We will stand against them. I'm going to compose myself. But we'll be right back on the other side as we expose these wolves, these beasts that go about roaring, seeing who they may devour. Stay with me. People like Hillary Clinton like to hurt people. Fake journalist, this wolf in the hen house, Michael Wolff, people like him enjoy the climate of fake news media, corporate media, and the open season on the truth, open season on the president, open season on loyal, decent, hardworking, honorable folks. Open season because the trash knows it's being taken out, and so the trash is fighting for its political, cultural, and spiritual life. And its life is culturally ruling us. Leftist globalism allied with Islam as Paul Watson's report on INFOWARS.com breaks it down, is allied with radical Islam and is saying it isn't feminist to take your hijab off, and the women standing up getting shot and killed in Iran and places like Tehran, they're not good. And Iran and the mullahs are good. Paul Watson lays it out. News articles, videos, progressive left. There's the title. Progressive left embraces the hijab while actual feminists in Iran remove it to fight oppression and in some cases get tortured and killed and shot. Well, it's hundreds dead now. But that's okay because see, making a woman wear a hood over her head or cutting her genitals off is liberal. Because that's what liberals want. If they can't cut your womb out, and if they can't butcher your baby in the womb, they're going to try to brain damage it with all their vaccines and their fluoride and all the garbage. They admit that's their plan. Because they're all about hurting children. And they like this modern form, this radical form, and this, in some cases, orthodox form of Islam that sells women at sex auctions, and CNN won't even say it's an Islamic thing that's happening. Imagine if churches were in North Africa selling women on slave blocks. You'd hear all about the denomination, the religious leader, why they do it, how it's wrong, but they won't even say to Islam, what you're doing's wrong. Because they don't want a reformation. Ladies and gentlemen, they want Islam to be used as a system to control people, and that's why it's not even Islam. It's political evil. Just like leftist garbage is political evil. And that's who they are. And the smiley-faced demons out there like Brian Stelter and Michael Wolff and Michael Moore, they're all going to point at our champion, who is in the center of the arena under massive attacks and whole balconies, whole cacophonies, whole lines of these carrion crows, these buzzards, these vultures, these rotten flesh eaters. They sit up there and all crow and cackle in chorus that we're bad and we're fake and we're evil. When you judge a tree by its fruits, all we deliver is the news before it's ever forced out. All we deliver is the cutting edge. All we deliver is danger to them. All we deliver is the reality of people that aren't intimidated and aren't lying down and aren't taking their crap anymore. And I just read where Tony Blair says, I never told them this. I never said the things Wolf says. It's total fabrication. And you go read about Wolf, it's like everybody's ever been interviewed by him says he's a fabricator. That's what he's known for. He's not a journalist. He's a fabricator, in my researched view. The author of the explosive new Trump book says he can't be sure if parts of it are true. See, why didn't Bannon come out day one and say, oh, this is twisted. I didn't do this. No. That's not what they do. He just sits there and goes, oh, I love Trump, and then sits back and watches his attempt to blow up the White House politically. He lights the fuse, walks off the safe distance. He goes, is it snowing outside? No, it's dandruff. Ketchup stains down the front of him. I'm the Liberty Movement. I came with money and took over Breitbart after he died. I'm the kingpin. I'm the god. I'm the Liberty Movement. Meanwhile, he's behind the scenes leaking everything to the New York Times, the Washington Post. And by the way, leaking BS and running around, we now know, to the FBI, fawning and agreeing with the Russia investigation in a hope to, I guess, sabotage the White House and have his cake and eat it too. Because see, the sociopaths and psychopaths or weak people that have been abused themselves and they go out and do it to others, they usually feel like they're owed something. I find a lot of times that's really what it is. I think Bannon's kind of one of those. He wants to show everybody he's the big man. He's the tough guy. He's the leader. He's in control. And he's got to overthrow everybody around him so he can feel like he's big. He's number one. But that's not the case with Wolfie and Stelter and Clinton They know exactly what they're doing, and they hate everybody around them. And they want to burn our world down so they can act like they're the big boys. And they love it. I mean, it is just sick. And how ridiculous power trips are, how horrible they are, how enslaving they are. And you see someone possessed with a power trip. You see someone so into themselves that they'll do anything to serve evil. And notice, they don't ever go make up stuff or do anything in the fiction world because they don't want to do that. Or they call it fiction, but it's really propaganda. Everything with them is deceit because they don't know any better. They're deceivers. They're defilers. They're poisoners. They don't like the light in your eyes. They don't like the soul. They don't like the honor. They don't like the strength. They don't like the will. And they take the fact that we're kind and loving and good and open-armed to come into our midst and to feed and twist and hurt people and play folks off against each other. And there are these psychopathic, twisted control freaks in every culture, in every society, in every group, in all parts of history, and they always act and behave the same. And they always push and push and push and push, thinking they're invincible until the giant awakens and it's too late. And they've studied the history books, and they think because they have technology and other things that they'll be able to override the human will to survive and the human will to have honor and the human will to be strong and forthright. And they take our nobility that they so hate and crave because they don't have 1/1 trillionth of the spark that we have, that is only 1/1 trillionth of a fraction of infinity of the mind of God. They are cut off from God. And so they want to ruin and wreck civilization, and they are committed to doing it. And they are committed to hurting you and your family, poisoning your food and water, watching your children be brain damaged while they strut around and watch and gloat and laugh. None of these top leftists take vaccines. None of them eat GMO. None of them are into aspartame. It's for the president to drink and die. And it's for us to drink and die, or your mother to drink and die, while they all just sit back and laugh as they literally have that. They always go, we're fallen and we're scum. But when they walk around the shopping mall, they go, at least I'm hurting these people. And how can I hurt somebody right now? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live, broadcasting worldwide. I intend to open the phones up coming up in the next segment. The toll-free number to join us is 877-789-2539. I keep forgetting to tell you guys during the breaks. I'm sorry. Will you put the clock back up there for me? Thank you. That's really helpful. 877-789-2539. We're opening the phones up on any subject you want to discuss, but really I think it's important for everybody to understand that we've got a bunch of clips of the wolf in journalist clothing, which is really the wolf stream media. I mean, that's what they are. They are fake news in sheep's clothing. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. The author of the explosive new Trump book says he can't be sure parts of it are true, and they, quote, did whatever it took to get the story. Isn't that just sweet as pumpkin pie? And that's what these people are all about, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Blair says the guy's a liar. They didn't say these things. It goes on and on and on. Meanwhile, this is the #1 story pretty much in the world. He couldn't even come up with the name himself. He had to lift it from the president, the target of his parasitic behavior. And as one of the crew in there said, you know, we're really just lining this guy's pockets. And I understand that. That's what it is about parasites. They take your energy. They force you to counter them. They force you to smash them flat. But they have no honor, so they don't care. They run off the bank. This guy is a known charlatan. It's simply insane, just like his son, Brian Stelter. I'm saying his spiritual son, because if you find the two smiling in photos, they're trying to keep all those photos off the internet, seriously. Like photos of Hillary smiling, they remove them, because she looks like a great white shark when it's about to attack and breach the surface. And the dead shark eyes. It's all about minions, all about her feeling powerful as someone grovels to her. Oh, yes. Oh, you're so powerful. Oh, yes, thank you. I am. Oh. Not so powerful now, are you, witch? And you'll be known in history as a crook. And Trump will be known as a titan of liberty. Someone that delivered, someone that was honorable, and you'll all try to write the annals that he wasn't. But just like the British history books said William Wallace was this and that, and a thief and a piece of garbage and a coward, everybody knows in history now he wasn't a coward, he was an honorable man. Because everybody intrinsically knows everything you say is a pile of garbage. You are the lie, the liar, the enemy, the defiler, the disgraceful, the cowardly, the spiritually wicked, the abomination, fallen, twisted, ugly, venomous, dishonorable. These are your names of you and your father. So just remember that. Just remember that, all of you that seek evil, believing you'll find power, all you will find is disgrace. But you already know that because many of you are inherently evil. You inherently choose that, and you are of that, and you like that. I'm speaking to the general public who isn't like that to understand we're dealing with people that want to lie to you and screw you over and hurt you. That's what they get off on. And everybody knows this. Everybody understands this in criminology. History's replete with it, and we're looking down the barrel of it now. And they are spiritually pulling their hair out because they know there's somebody now, not just here, but all over the world, like you. They know there's somebody like you who does love God, who does love justice, who wants to be truthful, who wants to be nice, who wants to help people, who doesn't get mad at other people's success. You can have anything you want. Just don't take it from me. But see, these are, more than anything, spiritually ugly people. If you think their appearances are ugly, their souls are devoid of anything but a grasping lust to hurt you. And if they could just strangle some innocence out of something, just while they wrap their fingers metaphysically around the child innocent's neck and squeeze the life out of it, they, for a glimpse, feel like they've conquered death by pulling something down as they scrabble in their little pits. Now, I'm done preaching, but you have to understand we're dealing with scum of the earth. And I think I've said that enough, but scum of the earth, 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 scum, losers, trash, filth. I mean, I just cannot express to you enough that we have to really not hate these people, but like you don't hate a rotting dead carcass of a hog or a horse or a deer over on the side of the highway, but you don't want to run up to it and wallow in it and kiss it and marry it, or take it home and put it in the bed with you. You don't take a dead rotting horse with thousands of maggots on it and go stick it in your bed, and curl up to it at night and love it and celebrate it. You just stay away from it. But see, we can't stay away because these people run our lives because they crave it, and they get in the positions over everybody so they can sit there and rain hell down on us. Because they're already on the bottom, and they're trying to bring the world down. They're trying to burn it down because they don't like you. They don't like God. They don't like justice. They don't like anything decent and wholesome. They drive through, these globalists, through the countryside and see pretty fields and happy farmhouses, and they get angry. They have extreme enmity, but they see some homeless person with big old jaundiced eyes, bloodshot, stumbling around with diarrhea running down their leg, and they kind of get a little happy. I've seen it, and kind of, well, and they'll kind of look at them, And I've noticed that about leftists, and you're like, oh my God, they are literal psychic vampires, and that's why everywhere they're in control, there's just feces all over the ground, and people starving and lying around, and drug needles everywhere, while they drive around in their $150,000 cars and just enjoy it. Oh, yes, the ugliness. Like a lord looking down from his castle at the starving villagers that are like a foot shorter than him and his family, because for generations they've been stunting them and keeping them down, and they just look over the castle wall and just say, it's such a pleasure. It's so fun to hold America underwater. It's so much fun to have us with the highest prohibitory taxes in the world to keep jobs out of the country. It's so much fun to turn men and women against each other, and black against white and old against young. It's so much fun to twist everything and deceive and corrupt. It's so good when you're in the darkness and they don't know, and you can just play with them like they're little toys, and you can break arms off and break legs off and set the toys on fire and do whatever you want to them and just giggle and laugh and have fun, because that's what you do, because you are the most hideous, twisted, defiling, lying vipers the earth has ever seen. Okay, I'm just telling you they are. And again, I could talk for 1,000 days. You cannot describe their commitment to evil, their commitment, their soul lust, their love, their desire is to hurt you. Period. And they know it, and they think it's funny. But they don't want you to know. They like the sick joke of telling you they arbitrate culture and society. They're in charge, and they are going to tell you how to, and you're going to come to them as their priest, their guru, their shaman. And they're going to look down on you as a pile of crap, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to turn you into a confused, freaked out, fallen, failed person like them. But you're not. Look at the most popular stories on INFOWARS.com from the last few days. Colorado lawmakers resist Sessions' war on marijuana. What a stupid, dumb thing by Sessions. Court upholds $135,000 fine for bakers who refused to bake a gay cake. Green Day singer tells his Trump-supporting fans to F off. Germany to censor media and upcoming Nazi-style purge. They've openly announced it. And Chelsea Clinton sends a Happy New Year's tweet to the Church of Satan. What a just little mix of bizarreness. But again, you get an idea of where they're coming from. Put as many peaceful, nonviolent, even legal marijuana smokers in jail as you can, while the Clinton crime family has been caught smuggling children out of Haiti by the thousands. Associated Press. One big investigative report over 2 years came out, 6 months ago? No coverage of it anywhere. I can't believe AP even put it out. But see, what happens is people find this is going on, they document it, and they go, listen, everybody's going to revolt that isn't pure criminals if we don't at least put this out. And then we can kind of act like, when more comes out later, that we did something. It's just incredible. And a lot of people go, look, these are really evil people. We get it, Alex. We're not going up against them. They're going to get you when they want to get you if you don't fight them now. I mean, if somebody's coming after me, let's go. I'm going to get them. How about that? I mean, they're a bunch of hunchback devil worshipers, for heaven's sakes. Who's going to protect the children if we don't do it? I just am letting myself realize how they are truly as bad as we've always said. It's just, they're even worse. It's like, oh my God, how much worse. It's incredible. And we're living right beside these people. They're all around us. It's a very small minority. But man, they have recruited all these weak-minded people and all these people, all these narcissistic folks. They have recruited them, and they have got legions of these idiots who are destroying their own humanity and their own future so they can be on a red carpet with a bunch of Skeksis. You couldn't pay me all. I mean, I just, I've gone from not caring about Hollywood to all just absolutely loathing it. And the good news is people are beginning to loathe it as well everywhere. And it's good. And so I'm so happy. But it makes the enemy fight even harder. And it makes them pull out all the stops and really show us who they are, trying to get us back under their control. And then I think about the poor people that are, I mean, Nico Acosta made this point to me, and Paul did a video on it days ago, and I just can't even look at this guy to play the videos, but he's got billions of views. Logan Paul video, YouTube users act fast to re-upload suicide farce video despite it being taken down, and then YouTube doesn't take it down. After it had tens of millions of views, he took it down and then does a sorry video, and it's all a big joke, and because it's nasty and it's not masculine, and it's done in a little demonic, gremlin-like way, they leave it up. But then we show army troops saving children from a burning van, and they take it down because they don't want you to see army troops saving kids out of a van. That's YouTube. I mean, it's a true culture of little, weak, twisted people sitting there. We've got them on video going, our main mission is to stop Alex Jones and people like him, and all we do is delist it so nobody can see it. And then we have it in Congress and everywhere saying, shut us down. Why? Because you can see what they are. They go hang out in Japan, it turns out, for weeks, waiting for somebody to go to this famous forest where it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story where a young girl killed herself for love. And then hundreds have gone there and hung themselves, killed themselves. And so he goes and makes a big joke and makes fun of the dead body, disgracing some poor soul who took their own life. And because it's so dishonorable, so twisted, so weak, so pathetic, so poisonous, so heartless, so soulless, that if they can get young people to get off on somebody's misery and their rotting dead body and make fun of it, and then make money off of it, and do it while you're wearing a Yoda hat, all of it perfectly done. This is a psyop, folks. This is all staged. To turn wisdom on its head, it's all archetypal. You think Yoda would go make fun of some dead body? Again, that archetype, this is what it's all about. It's all about defiling so that you'll defile yourself, so you'll be dishonorable. So they have bigger armies of sociopathic zombies to carry out their operations. I've got all these video clips and loaded phone lines, and we've got Zach. I don't know if he's going to give his identity out today. His name is Zach, formerly with Army Special Operations and Intelligence in pretty sensitive areas, giving us a lot of key information that's not classified about the globalists and their next moves. Just as important as anything you see from QAnon or anything, and I'm not lessening that. This is real. This is vetted. We can guarantee it. And he's been very accurate in the past, from Vegas to you name it. So that's coming up. Millie Weaver's going to be here at the bottom of the hour, but Jeff in Vancouver Island and many others are going to your calls here in just a few minutes. You know the drill. God, thank you for your support. You're the reason we're here. If you go buy products, T-shirts, books, films, water filters, you name it, at InfoWarsStore.com, you support the tip of the spear. And believe me, I actually have asked to be the tip of the spear. I've tried to be the tip of the spear, not knowing God would actually do it. I mean, I just meant, God, give me whatever strength I can to fight these people and make me strong because I'm weak. And please guide my hands and please help me because I'm under attack. My family's under attack. And I'm not whining. I asked for it. But let me tell you something. We are the tip of the spear. We are the enemy's #1 threat other than Trump because we're there pointing out who they are. And that they're horrible demons, and we're not afraid of them because we're afraid of giving in to them. We're afraid of turning loose our will to them. Out of fear, I have no fear. You understand? So I need you to commit to go to InfoWarsStore.com, and it just enrages them, and buy the products you need. Just shop with the good guys. It'll change the world. 50% off almost all of our best-selling items, except for stuff like, oops, I didn't do that on purpose. It's 67% off the colloidal silver. We had to pull that because it's basically sold out. So it's gone back to regular price. It's still a great deal on Silver Bullet. We've got the Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste that is, again, fortified with colloidal silver and iodine for adults and children, and the Super Blue mouthwash as well, both fortified It's amazing for your gums, you name it. There's nothing else out there like it. And, of course, it's a bestseller. InfoWarsStore.com. Read the thousands of 5-star reviews at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 50% off all Super Blue products. 50% off all of them. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. 50% off, and then other stuff's even more. But again, a lot of it is selling out. The Super Blue is very, very close to being sold out. And so it's not going to be back in for a month and a half or so. They say till the end of February. So I'm going to have to, after the weekend, that stockpile has been depleted. And it's a big deal to run a big run of it at the big factory. And again, it's produced by the company that produces some of the top names in organic, fluoride-free toothpaste. But some of them are politically correct, so that we've gotten word that we're not supposed to say it, even though we can. But it's fine. The point is it's high quality. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. Super Blue. We're very, very proud of it. Designed by my dad, oral surgeon, doctor, dentist, implant surgeon, back when he first taught it when it first came out at Baylor Medical. He's a smart guy, and it's great toothpaste. Designed by a dentist for his family. So InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, or 888-253-3139. And whether it's the real red pill, I'll find out about that, which is the foundation for everything, or whether it is Alpha Power that is amazing, or whether it's Super Male Vitality. Some people like Super Male Vitality better. Some people like Alpha Power better. And we've all tried it here in the office. Some people like Anthroplex better. Some people like Alpha Power better. They're different formulas. They're different for different people. But Alpha Power is very potent, very strong, stamina, libido, energy. Read the reviews. It is amazing. At 50% off Super Male Vitality, it's all about to end. It has to end because a bunch of this is, again, selling out. And that's how it is year end. And so it could be months, just like I told you, Michael ZX was selling out. And so that 50% off is now gone and it's about to sell out. I mean, it's going to be sold out probably for months because it's so hard to have California standards, and which is basically impossible for multi-ingredient compounds. So it's just batch after batch fails. Other people just slap the sticker on there. You understand, a piece of lettuce has more lead in it than can be in a whole bottle of something, according to California standards. And then and then they'll test everything and hope they catch something, even though everybody else can't pass it, basically. And then go, oh, look, he's the devil, he's murdering you, This is how this stuff works, ladies and gentlemen, when it's some of the highest quality, cleanest stuff out there. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. We'll be right back. Please spread the live video.